Hi, welcome back to Tom's Life. Today's Sunday special is Scotch egg pie. So the ingredients you need is plain flour, butter, sausages, eggs, parsley and salt and ground black pepper and bread. So first up we're going to weigh out the plain flour. I'm going to use my talking scales. So first up we're going to weigh out 300 grams of plain flour to make our pastry. So you're just going to pour it in first, and then if you've gone over you get a spoon and take some out. We're going to make a lid and a base, so you'll need 300 grams.
It is 232 grams.
Just add a little bit more.
It is 300 grams.
Spot on. Once you got 300 grams, you're going to get a big mixing bowl and you're going to place it all in. Give it a good shake and good tap out. And now you're going to weigh out your butter. So next step, you're going to weigh out your butter. You'll need 150 grams. I'm using my talking scales. So you want to chop some butter off with a sharp knife. Then you place it in your scales.
It is 111 grams.
You want to add a little bit more in.
It is 111 grams. It is 125 grams. It is 138 grams. It is 138 grams. It is 145 grams. It is 150 grams.
Spot on. Once you got 150 grams, you're going to place that in with your plain flour. So next step, we're going to start rubbing our butter in with our flour. So I broke it up into little pieces, and you want to start using your fingertips, rubbing it together. You don't have to do it like this. You can use a blender, a food blender. That is optional. So you're just rubbing them together from a height, and then you keep shaking it to bring the lumps up. You want it to look like breadcrumbs. Will take a few minutes. Then I'll add some water to bind it together. But like I said, you can do this in a food blender. Will just take a minute or two. And also it's good to have cold hands when you're doing this. You don't want to have hot hands or the butter will melt and you won't get a nice dough texture. So you just keep rubbing them. So once you got nice breadcrumbs like this, you're going to make a little bit of a well and you're going to start pouring in some water. Just enough to start off with. Then you want to start binding it all in together so it comes together. Give it a good stir with the knife. If you need to add in more plain flour you can, or water. But you just want to bind it in together slowly. Just add a tiny drop more of water. And now you just want to give that a good stir. Put your hands in. It might look a bit gloopy, but we'll be okay. It's like a sticky dough. Now you want to place your 6 eggs in a pan. You want to pour some hot water. Just cover them like that. Then you get a lid. You place them on. You place the lid on top. And then you'll boil your eggs for 10 to 12 minutes. So they boil and go nice and soft. You don't want them to be runny, but you don't want them to be too hard. So they got a nice soft texture. And then we'll place them on the heat to cook for 10 to 12 minutes. Now you want to switch on your hob. You want to set it to high. Just like that. And you can see you've got your pan with your eggs on the ring. That'll just take a few minutes to heat up. And then once it's heat up, it will take 10 to 12 minutes to boil your eggs. So you now want to start making your filling. You want to place all your sausage meat into a bowl. You'll get 10. Just like that. And with your hands, you want to start breaking them all down and mushing them. So just break them up with your hands. So give them a good mush. So they all break down. This will be like a filling we're making. For our Scotch egg pie. So you just keep mushing them finely if you want. Use your knuckles. Just give it a good push down. You'll make some breadcrumbs just to bind it in. If you had someone who's a vegetarian, you can get some corn sausages, and you could probably do the same recipe for corn. So you now want to start making your breadcrumbs. You just want to break your bread up into little pieces. You'll put 2 in to start, and then you'll put the lid on. You'll break these into fine crumbs, and then you'll make some more. And then what you do is you put the lid on, you close it, and you just have to keep hold of the button. It might get a bit loud now. Now you want to place all your breadcrumbs in with your sausage meat. Get it all out, just like that. And then you're just giving a good stir in. You can always make a little bit more. And if you haven't got a blender, you can buy some already breadcrumbs already made for you. Might just make a little bit more, so you'll need 3 to 4 bread slices. Now I've made a little bit more breadcrumbs, you just want to bind that in with the sausage meat. You're just patting it all in. So I use 4 pieces of bread. Just like that. We're just letting our eggs cool down. Then we'll rinse them while you're just finishing off making your filling. You'll chop a little bit of parsley and season your sausage meat and breadcrumbs. Now you want to get a little handful of fresh parsley, and you just want to take all the leaves off the stalks, and then you'll finely slice this, and then you'll add this into your sausage meat and breadcrumbs. This will give a little bit of flavour. You can use the stalks for another recipe to make a nice broth. But we're just getting all the leaves. Now you want to finely slice your parsley. Moving your fingers out the way. Then you're going to bring it back together and you're just going to give it one final chop. You want to bring it into a little bowl. Don't forget to move your fingers out the way. Once you got it nice and fine, so we just give it one final slice. Just like that. We're going to get our sausage meat and breadcrumbs here. And we're just going to place all our parsley in. Just like that. Now you want to add in some seasoning to your sausage meat. You're going to start off with some ground black pepper. And some ground salt. Once you add in a good seasoning, you want to get your hands in so it all binds in well with your parsley, seasoning, sausage meat and breadcrumbs. So you're just using your knuckles to pat it all together. Don't worry if you made a little bit too much breadcrumbs. So you're just giving it a good bind in. Then we'll break this in half. Half will go on our base, on our pastry. And then I'll show you how we crack our eggs. And then we'll chop our eggs. Put the eggs on top and then the rest of the sausage meat before we put another layer of pastry on top. So what I've done now is I've greased the bottom of the dish, and what you want to do is you want to carefully pat out your pastry really thin to near the edges. So you're just patting it out really thin. Just move it around. You have a nice thin layer on the bottom. And then we've got our big piece here, will be our lid. So you're just patting it out. Don't worry if you've got a little bit of gaps. So you want to try and get it near to the edges mostly you can. Now you want to get half of your sausage meat and your filling, and you just want to pat it out on the base. Get a little bit more. So when you've cracked your eggs and chopped them in half, and then what you do with the remaining sausage, you'll place that on top, and then to keep it all nice and sealed in, you've got your other layer of dough, and then you cook in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, so everything's nicely cooked. So as you can see, we've got a nice flat layer. Then we go round with the eggs. Then we put all this on top. Now you want to preheat your oven. Using my bumpons to tell me which one is the oven. You now want to set this at 180 degrees. So I have set that at 180 degrees. Let that just preheat while you crack your eggs. So you now want to crack your eggs. You want to give it a crack all over. Now you just carefully want to pick off all the shell. Be careful you don't break the egg. Then you'll place it back in the water while you do the rest of your eggs. So you're just peeling all the shell off. Just try and be delicate so you don't take any of the egg with it. You may take a little bit, but try your best to not. Then you'll cut these in half and then place them on the sausage meat, and then place the rest of the sausage meat on top. Then you'll place them back in the water just to give them a little bit of a shake and get any of the little bits of shell you have missed. That will help them to get off, just like that. So once you have cracked your eggs, you want to carefully cut them down the middle in halves. Just like that. And with your eggs, you want to place them flat down. And you want to place them all over your sausage meat and pastry. And what you do is you'll finish off doing your eggs, your other two, what you've got here. Then you put another layer of sausage meat all over, and then you roll out your pastry. And that's what you've missed with your pastry. You'll tuck them down the sides so we can seal it all in, and then you'll cook this for 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 till your pastry and sausage meat is cooked. What you're doing, you're patting your sausage meat and all your herbs and stuff on the chopping board, and then you just carefully want to place it on top of your eggs, just like that. You don't want to squash them, but you just want to layer them out. You just want to layer them out on top. Don't worry if you don't get it all the way over the eggs. This is just to seal most of it in. And then what we do now is we're going to really roll out. We can roll it out. Yeah, we're going to roll our other pastry out really thin to go over the top. But you can use your hands too. So you're now going to place your Scottish egg pie in the oven on the top shelf in the middle. You close the door. You want to cook that for 15 to 20 minutes so your pastry is nicely cooked and your sausage meat is cooked all the way through. And then you'll just keep an eye on it, and then you can serve that up either hot or cold. That's optional. So this is how you make my Scottish egg pie recipe. I hope you like this. Keep hitting the like button, share and subscribe, and thank you.